I moved to Red Deer back in 1998 with literally zero intentions of staying here long term, but the lifestyle, the outdoors, the pace, the location of the city, it all kind of got me. And now all these years later, I can't imagine myself leaving. So in this video, I want to show you exactly why that is, what Red Deer feels like to live day to day, the identity, the food scene, the sports scene, the growth that's coming, the weather, the affordability, and all the things people miss when they only see Red Deer on the map. This is going to give you a real look as to why so many people come here planning to stay for just a year or two and they end up never leaving. Let's get into it.
3, 2, 1. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. I could flip it down to $1 million. I don't like to brag, but I'm really on.
Okay, let's start this video off by talking about the core identity of the city. Now, Red Deer is known for being a super active city. It's a very outdoorsy place, and we're gonna get into that in this video. It's got a really laid back vibe. I mean, it's the third largest city in Alberta. However, you can get across Red Deer even at the busiest times in 20 minutes. Now, in my opinion, this is an amazing city to raise a family. It might not be the best if you're single and you're looking for a big nightlife, but Red Deer kind of has more of that big town feel to it, more than a city vibe. Now, the population of Red Deer is sitting at about 113,000 people. Now, these numbers were taken back in 2024, so we're in 2025 now. Actually, we're at the end of 2025, and Red Deer has been steadily growing, so it's probably a little bit bigger. Again, we are the third largest city in Alberta, and I think that this location, this central Alberta area, is the best location in the entire province. So, I mean, northern Alberta, it's great. It's going to be a little bit colder though, and you're going to be really far from most things. Your closest city is going to be Edmonton, unless you're way up north, and you want to go to Grand Prairie, but I mean, it's Grand Prairie. Southern Alberta, it's nice. It's a little bit warmer, but it's way too windy for me. Central Alberta kind of avoids both of those extremes. Now, Red Deer sits right on Highway 2, which is an amazing location. So you are literally the halfway point between Edmonton and Calgary. I think it's 155 kilometers to Edmonton, 145 kilometers to Calgary. I used to live down in Vanier East, the very southeast corner of Red Deer, and I would go to Calgary to train jiu-jitsu all the time. And the dojo that I trained at, JR Academy, was on the south end of Calgary. And I was there from door to door in about an hour and 20 minutes. So you have the convenience and easy access to both of these cities, but you don't have to put up with all the BS and the traffic and the busyness of living right in them. Now, when we talk about Red Deer's outdoor identity, and this is what throws a lot of people off. They don't realize this. Again, most people are driving by Red Deer as they're going from Edmonton to Calgary or Calgary to Edmonton, and they think of, they're going through Gasoline Alley and they're just going to stop here and get gas, but they don't come into the city. Red Deer is a super green, very lush city. It's known for all of our walking trails that run throughout the entire city. We have a beautiful river valley, and along that river valley, there's tons of different parks, from Heritage Ranch to Bower Ponds to the Gates Lakes Bird Sanctuary, and that's just to name a few. There's way more than that. This is a super dog-friendly city. We have 2 awesome dog parks. We have the Oxbow's Off-Leash Dog Park on the south end, but the real star when it comes to dog parks, and nothing against Oxbow's, is the 3 Mile Bend Dog Park just on the north side of the city. Now, this is one of the nicest dog parks in the country, so even if you don't have a dog, make sure you check it out. And in the wintertime, it's still great around here. Just east of town, we have the Canyon Ski Hill. This is the largest non-mountain ski resort in Alberta. In 2019, they did a bunch of upgrades to this for the Canada Winter Games. And in the summertime, this ski hill turns into the Canyon Adventure Park. So this is really fun. Me and my daughters went here for the first time this last summer, and I cannot believe that we haven't been going here. I think it's been open 2 years, maybe 3. Don't fact check me on that one, but they have some really cool stuff there. So one of the coolest things, and even I had a ton of fun there, was the aerial park. Man, you were harnessed in, and it's kind of trippy. Like, there's levels. You start at level 1, 2, 3. I couldn't go up to level 3 because I was too scared. Super fun way to spend the day with the kids. There's a zip line. There's a coaster that runs down the hill all through the trees. So really, really fun time. And just 15 minutes to the west of Red Deer, we have Sylvan Lake, Alberta, which is the best lake town in the province of Alberta. I do believe that because of all of our beautiful nature and our walking trails, the river valley, the Waskesiu Trail system, this is why Red Deer has won the most active city in Alberta for 4 years in a row. And actually in 2022, it took the national title. That is a pretty crazy little stat in my opinion. Calgary, Edmonton, Lethbridge, I don't know, you guys need to get off your ass. Now let's talk about the daily lifestyle here. Again, we kind of touched on this before a little bit, but Red Deer, it just has that big town feel to it. I grew up in a small town called Whitecourt, about an hour and a half north of Edmonton. And honestly, to me, it just feels like Whitecourt ate a bunch of steroids and we have Red Deer. So So super laid back, people are really friendly. And again, minimal traffic. You're not gonna be sitting here stuck in traffic. Even during the busiest times, like I said, you can get across town in about 20 minutes. And I almost forgot to introduce myself. My name is Kyle. I am a real estate agent here in the area. If we would like any help making the move to Red Deer or anywhere in the central Alberta region, use this info popping up, get a hold of me any way you like. All my information will also be pinned in the comments below, as well as the description. Let's get back to the video. All right, so you got the feel of what Red Deer's core identity feels like, but here's the part that's actually setting Red Deer up for the next decade or more of growth, and it's happening right now. So there is a ton of developments right now in Red Deer or the surrounding area that in my opinion are really going to put Red Deer on the map. So starting with number one, we have the airport expansion. We've talked about this a few times, but it's in its final phase. It's phase 3. Again, it was a $30 million upgrade. Can accommodate bigger planes like the Boeing 737, which means we can take flights from the Red Deer Airport to major, Canadian destinations like Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto, and in the future they are looking at adding international flights. So this is going to be huge for the area. Anytime you increase those transportation lines around a city, it's only going to grow. Lots of people are going to decide to move here, and lots of investors watch this kind of thing. I guarantee they are watching this right now, and you're going to see investments here in Red Deer start to go crazy. Number two, we have the hospital expansion. This is a $1.8 billion hospital expansion, the biggest in Alberta health services history. And man, this is going to create thousands of jobs, not just to build this, but also thousands of jobs in healthcare once it's all completed. And healthcare is already one of the biggest industries within this city. This development is underway right now, and it's supposed to be completed by 2030 to 2031. And it's going to add a ton of really needed infrastructure to the hospital here in Red Deer, because not only does this hospital serve the 100,000 or 113,000 people that are in Red Deer right now, but it's the central hub for central Alberta. So I believe it serves about 500,000 people. Now we have the downtown revitalization taking place right now, and one of the cornerstones of this is the capstone development. Man, there is a lot going on there. This place is going up super, super fast. Every time I drive, I go to a little shop down there called Pure Earth Organics. They have amazing elixirs and these quote unquote healthy cookies that I usually eat 3 at a time. But this place is going up fast. They are getting stuff done there. So it's going to be all affordable. That's the key word. This is really meant to be affordable. So condos, townhouses, apartment complexes, and it's right up on the river in a really cool spot close to some of the best walking trails in the city. In my opinion, this is going to do a ton for Red Deer's downtown. Now, just south of the neighborhood of Sunnybrook, we have the Bower Woods development that was given the okay here by City Council. I believe it was this summer. So I'm not exactly sure when that's going to get started, but there's some farmland just south of Sunnybrook neighborhood. Melcor Developments has purchased it, and they are going to start developing that. So look forward to that one. Now, Haslet Lake on the north end, I'm not sure what's going on there. They were supposed to break ground in 2025, which was this summer. However, there's nothing going on there at this point, and every time I call there, nobody answers the phone. But north of 11A, there is a huge project starting with Haslet Lake, which is a residential community set to take place very soon. When that's going to happen, I don't know when. And then we have other things around the area, like the P&H flour mill that's going up in Springbrook. This is going to be huge for the agriculture industry. And then north, just by Blackfolds, we have the Dairy Innovation West milk processing plant. So it's the first of its kind in Canada. And this place is going to turn the dairy industry on its head. And this is just touching on some of the things that are going on here, guys. We still have all the development going on in the Evergreen neighborhood, Timberlands North, Liberty Landing, Laredo. So Red Deer, in my opinion, is set to grow more than any other city in this province over the next couple decades, and I'm really looking forward to it. All right, let's talk about the weather. Now, I'm going to tell you why I like the weather here. Now, sure, could I do without the cold snaps when it gets to minus 30, minus 40? 100%, I absolutely could. I've lived in Alberta my entire life, and I will never get used to that kind of cold. It's too much, and I hate it. But again, I feel like we get that little bit of balance being in central Alberta, kind of like we talked about before, the northern Alberta. Anything, in my opinion, I consider north of Edmonton to be northern Alberta, and then you have Calgary and south of Calgary to be southern Alberta. So again, north is going to be a little bit colder, or quite a bit colder. In southern Alberta, we have that wind going down there. Now, I personally would choose a little bit colder weather over the wind. I can't stand the wind, and you're still going to get, the minus 30s and minus 40s down there. And in southern Alberta, you have things like rattlesnakes. Here in Red Deer and the central Alberta area, I mean, I'm sure we could have them, but I have never seen one in my entire life. That little bit extra cold is just gonna keep all those weird critters and bugs and snakes and different things that nobody likes anyway. It's just gonna keep them away. Now, one thing to understand is that it is dry in Alberta, not just central Alberta, but the entire province. So this is going to make, in my opinion, the weather much more manageable here in Alberta. So when we talk about wintertime, so many people tell me coming from Ontario and British Columbia, these more humid provinces, that -5 or -10 here, or even -20, -25, it just feels much less colder here because of our dry climate. They say in those more humid climates that it just chills you to the bone.
We're there. Got a little dippy going too fast out here.
And you're not going to have these, heavy, wet snowstorms that take out the power grid. The snow here is super light and super fluffy. So if you get on top of it before your wife packs it down, it really is an easy shoveling job or snowblower. And in the summertime, this is what people remark about all of the time. They just love the dry heat. Now, air conditioning's here. People always ask me, coming from Ontario, British Columbia, why don't people have AC? Here, it's kind of a nice to have. You don't need it. So there's like a 50% chance that the house you're going to buy, it might have AC or it might not have AC. Most of the times here in Alberta, if you open up some, strategically placed windows, you're going to get enough cross ventilation because it's not humid here. It's not going to be super hot. Now, with all that being said, if you're in a 2-story and you're sleeping upstairs, you might want to consider an AC because there are some days throughout the summer, when we're getting +25, +30, that can be a little bit hot when you're sleeping. And here in Alberta, they call it Big Sky Alberta for a reason, because of all the sunshine that we get here. I think we even get more sunny days than Florida. So Red Deer specifically, it averages around 323 days of sun per year. And when clients fly out, they're always asking me, is it always sunny like this here? Living in BC, Vancouver, or Ontario, it's gonna be a little bit warmer, but a lot of people tell me that it's overcast there all the time. And man, I couldn't handle that. That would drive me insane. I would rather take a little bit longer winters that are sunny all the time than having overcast and rain all the time. I feel like that would just put me into kind of a depression or something.
Crazy weather coming our way.
All right, lifestyle, weather, that's all one thing, but let me show you the side of Red Deer that nobody really expects. Let's talk about the food, the breweries, the sports energy that this city has. In my opinion, it's totally underrated. Let's talk about the sports scene here. So there isn't a ton of options to pick from, but the ones that we do have, in my opinion, they're great and they're super intimate. So when you're actually at a Rebels game, which is a WHL hockey team that we have here, the Red Deer Rebels, I think the Centrium seats about 5,000 people. You take the kids there and they absolutely love it. And the Rebels have produced a lot of good players. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins from the Oilers has come here. So really good hockey. There is the Blackfalds Bulldogs. It's a Junior B hockey team, which is located in Black Falls, and they play at the Eagles Center. And then if you head out to Sylvan Lake, which is again 15 minutes just to the west, we have the Sylvan Lake Gulls, which is a Western Canadian Baseball League team. And this is a blast. People love going to watch these guys play. So Red Deer has some solid options. It's not a pro sports city, but because of the location that we are here in central Alberta and Red Deer, again, you can easily access Edmonton or Calgary. And in either of those cities, we have CFL teams. And this isn't like Saskatchewan where, Saskatchewan only has the Rough Riders to cheer for. We actually have a few different options here. So we got the Stampeders in Calgary, CFL. We got the Eskimos in Edmonton. And then of course we have NHL in both of those cities. So Oilers, greatest team on the planet, up in Edmonton. And then we have the Flamers down south, which is in Calgary. My dad's been a diehard Flames fan his entire life, and I don't know why he sticks it out. They are just terrible. Now let's talk about the food scene. I think it's better than people expect. So of course you have lots of franchise options here in Red Deer, from Moxie's and Earl's and the Keg. And I honestly love eating at those places. I think they're fantastic. But we do have some food snobs who complain about the local scene here in Red Deer. And I think that it's come a long way. Now we have some really good options when it comes to local restaurants. And just to name a few, and some ones that you should check out, is head down to the Ross Street patio. Check out 53rd on Ross Street. This is more of kind of like a fine dining place. So this is a great place for date night. If you want some Italian food, go check out Forno's on the north end. And man, we have an amazing sushi place here in Red Deer called Shizo. My wife and I, we order from there all the time, and we've tried places all around, and there's some good places, Black Falls and Lacombe, they have some decent places, but nothing compares to Shizo. And then of course, check out 111 Grill if you want a good steak and you want some live music while you're eating. This is another great spot for date night. Now, what people don't understand about this area as well is that we have some amazing breweries. We are really spoiled. So there's lots of award-winning ones like the Troubled Monk. This is one of my favorites. This is down in the Croncrest Business Park. It's got a great patio. It's got a great vibe. And then we have the Sawback Brewing, which won some awards here in 2025 as well. And then around the area in Sylvan Lake, we have Snakes Lakes Brewing, we have Blind Man Brewing in Lacombe. All of these places have won some awards, and these are great places. Just go and grab a beer. All right, now let's talk about the last piece of the puzzle, the cost of living here, because at the end of the day, all of this other stuff doesn't matter if it's not affordable. Red Deer is genuinely one of the most affordable cities to live in all of Canada. So the median detached price through 2025 was, this is for a detached home, was $450,000. That's up $25,000 from last year. Last year in 2024 was $425,000, which means you can still get a great family home without needing a massive budget here. So you are getting a decent house for $450,000. So this comes with a finished basement. It's going to have a decent sized yard. And then on mortgage at around this median price at $450,000, you are not going to be house broke. Now, rent is extremely affordable here compared to the rest of the country. And I can already hear the people in the comments saying, I don't know what you're talking about. Rent is crazy here, but go live somewhere else and you're going to realize how good you have it here in Red Deer. So across all property types, the average is about $1,395 per month. And this puts Red Deer in the top 10 most affordable rental markets in Canada. And that's according to the latest national rent report. Now, in Alberta, of course, you're not going to have any land transfer tax. So this is going to save you thousands of dollars right off the top. There's no provincial sales tax here. So again, it's only 5% GST. And on resale homes, you're not paying GST. And when we talk about property taxes, man, it seems like property taxes all over Alberta have been going up. So they went up around 10% last year. And I believe that in Red Deer, they're set to go up another 7% this year, which is kind of shocking to some people. We did just get a new mayor, so we'll see what that's about. But compared to places like Ontario, Red Deer is actually sitting pretty good. When you compare it to places like British Columbia, it's probably, I believe it would be the highest in the province. And when I look at the rest of Alberta, it's kind of sitting middle of the pack. So right now, at the time of making this video, property taxes in Red Deer are 0.99% of the assessed value. So I can't remember on a $500,000 home. Sorry, I'm just trying to do the math in my head. I believe that's just over $4,900 a year. Now, things like gas, groceries, and utilities, they're all going to be comparable to other provinces. But again, the big savings come from housing, rent, and not property taxes, but taxes like land transfer tax and no provincial sales tax. So super, super affordable for the time being. But again, with all the growth and development that's going to take place here, and with all the places around Red Deer, like Calgary and Edmonton, becoming more expensive, I really think you're going to see a ton of growth here. And I do think we're going to see those prices continue to go up. Now, of course, anything could happen. Tariffs, COVID, Russia, who knows? So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you need help making the move here, my name is Kyle. I am a realtor in the area. Use this info popping up. Get a hold of me any way you'd like. Would love the opportunity to earn your business. I will see you guys next week. Cheers.